All right, so clearly there can only be one winner of this guitar, and I'm not gonna have the guitar for much longer, but what I'd love to do by showing you this guitar totally disassembled, I'd love to crowdsource as much information from all of you as we can get. So if you know something about the guitar as I'm taking it apart, if you can add something to the conversation, the group, please do so in the comments. Weigh in if you know something, I'd love to hear. So you can see these little plates. When I engage the middle, both are touching, and when I engage in the other direction, it separates one of the little contact plates. You can see the basic design is just genius. It's just a little switch with the plates either touching one, touching the other side. It's hard to do this one-handed. Or touching in the middle pickup selector, both little contact plates right in there are making contact with each other. What's up, players and traders? This is John from Play and Trade Guitars. And thank you so much for watching this edition of On the Bench, one I'm very excited for. Here's that bridge, here's that neck. Whoa! Oh! Got something in store for you today. I got the carving station because we are putting the 1990 Gibson Custom Shop Firebird on the bench, and I couldn't be more excited. We're gonna go over all the tech specs, you name it. We'll cover it all. All right, well, let's start at the beginning. This is the beautiful original Gibson Custom Shop hardshell case, an aged yellow stitching on brown faux leather. Marked here is made in Canada, quality Canadian construction. Let's pop these latches. I'd say what's in the case, but I think everyone on this channel already knows. The excitement has built to a frenzy, to a fever pitch. If ever there was a guitar deserving of plush pink velvet, this is it. Ta-da! Unbelievable Inverness Green. It's a two-tone burst green, and it's just hard to put into words. Banjo-style tuners on a reverse headstock. Now add the guitar to my weight. Registering about 8.4 pounds. If you wanted kilograms, I'm sorry, I can't tell you. Google it. Let's get another view going too on my other camera here. So I've got the guitar here on the bench. Let's go ahead and take some pickup measurements. Firebirds are known for being particularly hot in the pickups. So let's just take a DC resistance reading. My new favorite toy, the multimeter. If I look like an expert, I'm fooling you. Everything technical that I do from a setup perspective is done as an experienced player, but not an experienced technician. If you ever see something I do on a guitar on this channel, on the bench, that you have a better way of doing, please drop us a comment. Let's make this a community where we can share knowledge. I'm a player and I tinker around with guitars until I get them feeling right. But oftentimes I'm doing something and I'm sure there's a better way to do it. All right, starting with the neck position, 14.8. Bridge pickup 22 even. Middle is reading 14.1. All right, let's take the strings off this bird. I'm gonna restring it with D'Addario 10 gauge. XL110P is my go-to string, D'Addario. So we have a reverse headstock with banjo style tuners. The action on this guitar as it stands now is pretty low. It's almost, to my taste, it's almost pushing too low. So I suspect there's 9 gauge strings on this Firebird. I'm gonna switch it to 10 gauge. I don't think any other corrections are needed. Honestly, it plays like a dream. I'm not complaining. If I'm being nitpicky, I'd prefer to have the 10s as I'm used to that on all my other guitars. But this neck, this guitar plays like an absolute dream, no complaints. Go ahead and pull these off. Now while I have the strings off, I should have taken a poll and seen if I should put on the chrome matching bridge or leave the gold. But I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna drive half you nuts, I'm gonna leave on the gold. Now, I'm gonna be real cautious not to scratch the black top of the headstock while I pull these string butts off. I don't need that in my life, neither do you. It's easy to do if you're not careful. I hate the G string, it's always the problem. Makes for good TV. All right, we'll do a little flyover here. See the bottom body contour, our Gumby green body, the beautiful routing there. Kind of a center block routing on the solid body guitar. Gold bridge, 2 mini Firebird humbuckers, tone and volume for each pickup, input jack on the face of the guitar, awesome perloid faded pickguard, 3-way pickup selector. There's that neck mini humbucker. You can start to see now the faded cream binding with age, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful binding. All right, let's zoom in on that rosewood neck. Kind of a curved trapezoidal inlay. If one of you geometry majors knows what that's called, please comment below. I don't know what shape that is. Looks like a bowl. I mean, look at that. There's not really any fretwear on this guitar. Very, very minimal. Just wasn't played much, and it's, man, it's an incredible guitar. It's a little dusty, but we'll take care of that. Let's take a look at the truss rod arrangement here. Again, anything with a screw, I'm going to take it off and give you a close look. All right, got my little tray. Let's unscrew the truss rod cover and take a close look. Teensy weensy little truss rod screws. 3 screws holding the truss rod cover in place, which I can now slide off. There it is. Beautiful, beautiful. Put that carefully aside. Give a little dusting. Give you a close-up view of this. So here's the headstock with the headstock cover removed. Standard Gibson style bullet truss rod adjustment. Could see the natural wood poking through there, which is actually kind of a cool bonus of taking that truss rod cover off. Very beautiful. Assume it's mahogany. Rich mahogany. Oh, dropping screws is the worst. Back in your cage, bird. Very good. My main goal in life right now is to not crack the truss rod cover plate. Let's make a deal. Let's not break anything. Deal? Yeah, let's take this thing apart. Let's take a look at the pickups first. So I'm going to delicately I'm going to remove this. What was he thinking? What was the guy thinking? Gold bridge. No disrespect. Personal taste. I mean, if you listen, if you buy yourself a Gibson custom shop guitar and you drop that kind of money, you want to put a gold bridge on it, put as much gold on it as you want. All right, I am now removing the screws of the bridge mini humbucker Firebird pickup. Whether it's called a Gibson mini humbucker or a Firebird pickup, I'll let you guys settle that. I'm just going to call it a Firebird mini humbucker. Deal? Nice patina. Nice little bit of corrosion on the screws. Shows its age. I think that's cool. It's always suspect to me if it's really been sitting in a closet for this long, you know. I like to see some signs that say, yeah, this guitar is 30 years old. A little corrosion on the screws. I actually suspect the 3-way pickup selector needs a little bit of contact cleaner because I noticed when I was getting a pickup reading, it was jumping on me a little bit. And I've never noticed any issues when switching through pickup selectors, but that's what I like about this multimeter. Sometimes it actually will reveal problems that you don't even realize you have. So I think really just the 3-way pickup selector needs a little bit of contact cleaner, which I'll add. All right, so let's see if we can get under and look at this mini humbucker. Oh, this is cool. Okay. Patent number 2737842. We have a sealed, looks like a wax sealed mini humbucker with a braided kind of silver coil wire here. Beautiful little tight body routing made specifically for this pickup. And here, let me flip this camera around, give you a look. All right, so here's the routing for this mini Firebird humbucker, and you can see it's stamped patent number 2737842, and it seems to be sealed up in wax or resin, whatever that is. So we are not about to try to take this apart, but I did want to get a look at the underside. You can see it is adjustable height here, spring-loaded adjustable height pickup. Adjust to your heart's delight when you win it. I left it right where it was when I bought it. Had no qualms. No complaints. The thing sounds absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to put those screws back on and we'll pop off and look at the neck real quick. We're not skipping any details of this on the bench. Actually, before I continue, I'm going to replace the screws from the bridge. The more corroded screws tend to go on the palm side of the guitar. Should come just from the sweat on your hands over the years. The less corroded screws I'll put on the right horn side of the guitar. The corrosion on those screws comes primarily from the sweat in your hands and exposure to the elements, and I actually like that look. I like to see the corroded screws. It looks like you played the thing. But it's also helpful in remembering when you put the screws back, which way to put them. Okay, so the bridge pickup is reassembled. Let's take off the next pickup. Take off the neck pickup. And oh, speaking of corrosion, the screws on the neck pickup, no surprise, are much less corroded because your palm's not sitting against them. It's your picking hand palm that sits against particularly these outside screws on the bridge pickup that corrode the screws, and you can always see that. All right, so let's pop off this neck pickup. Take a close look. Yeah, so you can see another patent number 2737842. Looks like an inspector mark, an R. And if we look close there, we'll let you technical experts tell us what this is. If you know about this pickup, drop a comment. I'd love to know more. I don't know much about them, to tell you the truth, but they sound fantastic, and they sound unlike anything I've played. These Firebird pickups sound like no other guitar that I've played. Really a treat to play. It'd be funny if I sent the winner the completely disassembled guitar with IKEA style instructions to put it back together. I'd pat myself on the back. All right, so clearly there can only be one winner of this guitar, and I'm not gonna have the guitar for much longer, but what I'd love to do by showing you this guitar totally disassembled, I'd love to crowdsource as much information from all of you as we can get. So if you know something about the guitar as I'm taking it apart, if you can add something to the conversation, please do so in the comments. You know something about those pickups? I don't. Let us know. I just know they sound fantastic. Weigh in if you know something. I'd love to hear. All right, so now we're gonna pull this panel off. Take a look. All right, so here comes this panel, exposing the Les Paul style Gibson three-way pickup selector switch, which definitely has a little corrosion. So why don't we put a little contact cleaner on there. All right, so now we can see that the panel is off. You can see the routing here. Again, if you got something to weigh in and say about the routing or the wire or the choice of three-way pickup selector or the cover, anything you want to weigh in on, you let us know. Definitely a little corroded there. It works, but the multimeter readings are jumping, telling me that the corrosion is interfering. So I am going to put a little bit of contact cleaner on this. All right, so I'm going to carefully just unscrew the top portion of this nut. Put it aside in my tray here. Carefully lift off that pick guard. Let's take a look at that pick guard. Really cool faded pearloid pick guard. Oh, look at that logo. Look at that bird. Yes, so good. I'm going to gently set that aside. And what I'm going to do is give myself a rag and work a little contact cleaner into this. I'm going to put a piece of cardboard too. You can just tell this three-way pickup selector needs a little love after all these years. Put a little bit of contact cleaner. This is WD-40 contact cleaner. Bought it on Amazon. Just going to work a little on the three-way. You guys are gonna yell at me for touching this stuff with my bare hands, I know it. I put the cardboard just to block the spray, and now I'm just gonna work this back and forth a bit. Gently. Put a little more in there. Flip it upside down. Spray a little more on the actual contact plates here. It needs it, I can tell. So this has the tiniest little contact plates that you want to get cleaned off in there. All right, so you can see these little plates. When I engage the middle, both are touching. And when I engage in the other direction, it separates one of the little contact plates. So if you have any corrosion in there from age, you're going to get crackling, you're going to get a little bit of interference. So I put a little contact cleaner, and we're just working it back and forth on those plates. And you can see the basic design is just genius. It's just a little switch with the plates either touching one, touching the other side. It's hard to do this one-handed. Or touching in the middle pickup selector, both little contact plates right in there are making contact with each other. So a little contact cleaner just to clean things up. We should be good. I'm gonna lay the wires back in its routing position. Gently drop this plate back into position, and we'll get this these screws put back on. Work that three-way pickup selector back a few more times. Check the position of this, something doesn't feel quite right. I'd rather double check now before I get this all screwed together. Put this bad boy back on now. The contact cleaner actually over dried the little rubber bumper, and so I put a little bit, a tiny bit of WD-40 on where that little rubber bumper moves the connection pads. Now we're going to put this all back together. The name of the game here is to not over tighten the screws so that we don't crack the pick guard. That would be a mess. I'm just going to gently secure the pick guard to the body. All right, good. Good movement on the three-way pickup selector, so that's repaired. Let's go ahead and flip the guitar over. Let's take a look at the cavity now in the back of the guitar. Getting close to restringing this beast. Oh wow, okay, cool. Here's the panel cover, another faded yellow white. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm gonna flip this around. Here's the inside cavity. It's the input jack. Pots. Again, if you know something about what you're seeing, let us know. Looks like it's marked 440. What does it say there? 440-700? A little bit of finish cracking underneath the panel where the screws are. No big deal, not visible. Really cool. Let's see what those caps say. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Looks like, man, it's hard to see. Let's see here. MP 208M 100 volt looks like 100V. Anybody make sense of that? Let us know. Let me get a real close-up look there. Yep, there's a look at the wiring. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and put this panel back on. Let's flip that over. All right, so we're gonna just clean up real quick the inside of the input jack. A little bit of contact cleaner, but everything looks good. I'm not gonna pull off the tone and volume knobs just because I don't want to crack them, and the pots aren't giving me any trouble, so let's not create problems where there's no problems. Everything else we took a look at from the tech perspective. Drop a comment if you want to tell us something about those pots. A little bit of Dunlop 65. Just wipe the wood with the grain here before I put the strings back on. Very gently with the grain, removing any dust. I'm going to actually raise up the bridge saddle just a little bit. All right, so one more thing before we reassemble. I'm just going to clean up the fretboard. First, I'm going to just take a cotton t-shirt and gently wipe down the frets with a little bit of Dunlop 65 just to get some gunk out. There's really not much gunk to complain about though. And then I'm going to put some hydrate, some Diodario hydrate, which is like a lemon oil. Just a little drink of it, not too much. And I'm not going to apply much pressure here because this is looking to be pretty beautiful. There's not much to do to this guitar, so let's not create problems where there are no problems. Give it a little drink of hydrate. Watch that rosewood really sparkle. And that's going to be the Diodario hydrate solution. All right, it's about that time to start thinking about restringing. All right, so we're letting the hydrate solution soak into the board a bit. Meanwhile, I'm prepping the bridge to be putting that back on with new strings. This was a one-owner guitar. He purchased this from the Gibson Custom Shop in 1990 for $2,600, which in 1990, that's a lot of money. All right, let's get this thing restrung and learn if I did more harm than good or more good than harm. Do no harm. That's my motto. 10 gauge Diodario XL 110. I'm gonna push this on through, and once I do that, I'll wipe any excess hydrate, but it's soaking in nicely into the board. All right, and now with those pulled through, I'll go ahead and buff out any excess of the hydrate with a cotton shirt. Just kind of a wax on, wax off to finish. It's looking beautiful. Let's get a shot up close. This is gonna be my last look at this fretboard with no strings on it, because the next time someone's changing strings, it's not gonna be me, it's gonna be one of you. But I will cry. All right, take a look where we ended up on that beautiful piece of rosewood. That beautiful fretboard. Totally gorgeous. And look at just the absolute minimum amount of fret wear. It's only discernible ever so slightly when you get up here in the open position, first position. Very minimal fret wear for a 30-year-old guitar. Beautiful look at this piece of wood. Gorgeous. Let's get it restrung. All right, my goal is to not stab myself again. Oh yes, I'm sure you're all wondering how these banjo-style tuners work. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll find out together, because I've never owned one of these. This is the first time I've restrung this guitar. Let's find out. Now, don't scratch the top of the guitar, John. And it's funny, it's like, wait, this is playing tricks with my brain. It's the reverse of a Strat. I want to end up coming in. This is wild. The E string up here, this is too strange. Now this must be what all you left-hand players feel like. Reverse headstock restringing. First ever in my life, restringing a reverse headstock guitar. This is exciting stuff. Watch me restring this whole thing backwards. All right, I'm gonna get this tuned up and we're gonna see how it sounds. All right, so I just fired up the Mesa. I'm gonna give this a preliminary run through here. I'm just going direct into the Mesa. Gonna check out the electronics, make sure everything's sitting right. Let's go Mesa Crunch. Whoa, there's that hot output. Y'all ready? There's that bridge, here's that neck. Whoa! Oh! Here's that middle now. I'm John from Plain Trade Guitars. This has been our On the Bench special edition of this amazing Gibson Custom Shop Firebird in Inverness Green. Everything works just like it should, I can assure you that. Thanks for watching this. Subscribe to this channel and like this video, and keep watching, because one of you, first 2,000 subscribers, are gonna win this guitar. I cannot wait to give it to one of you. For Plain Trade Guitars, I'm John. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, drop us a comment, let us know what you think of this Gibson Custom Shop Firebird. Are you ready to win? Are you ready for this to be sent your way? Drop us a comment, let us know how excited you are. Let us know what you think of this On the Bench special edition look at all the insides, all the carvings, all the slices of this beautiful bird. Pretty soon, it's coming your way. Ta-da!